Welcome to the second meeting, or basically the final project overview for the online learning certification course. First, I want to say congratulations. You made it through the first half and you are where you were the student, and now you're transitioning into the second half where you become the instructor. So everything that we did up to this point was preparing us to become the instructor and create an online learning experience. So for this final project, the expectations are basically that you will build a completely online unit within your content area. It's worth 50% of your grade for obvious reasons because it takes a lot of work. As you know, with writing curriculum, it's timely. When you set up your standards and scope and sequence, there's a lot that goes into it. Now, obviously, we're not doing a whole semester's worth of work. We're really just looking at 1 week, approximately. Sometimes participants will create a unit and they're like, well, it takes me 2 weeks to get through this, so I'm going to make 2 weeks worth of experiences on here. It's up to you. As long as you can get your targets completed within that time, you're good to go. So as you set this up, um, basically what you're going to look back at is how you currently teach a unit when you decide which one you're going to do. So you have the options. Am I going to choose a unit that I'm really, really good at, that I enjoy, that I'm very confident about? Or am I going to choose a unit that maybe the students currently struggle in regards to understanding concepts? And I'm going to try to teach it in a completely different way and really step out of the box and try something new. All right, so as you're preparing and thinking about this, you want to look at standards. What activities do you currently use to teach this? Which ones work and which ones don't work? What specific instructions do you need to give to your students when you are standing in front of them? Because now that you're creating something completely online, you're not in front of them answering those questions, so you're going to have to lay it all out as complete and as accurate as possible so that students don't have questions on what to do. Um, how do you assess your students to make sure that they met the targets? What resources do you draw upon during your units? Are you using textbooks? Are you using websites? What is it that you need to make sure that this unit works? And are there new resources that hopefully that you were introduced to in the first half of the course that possibly you could be utilizing while you create the unit? Step two is laying out the plan. I highly recommend while you're going through this to start thinking about how am I going to set this up during this week or this unit? Do I want to have thematically organized, chronologically, or step-by-step guides into what the students need to accomplish? When you are ready, you need to write all this stuff down. We recommend doing this just because once you get it to the computer, you're going to have other hurdles and just technology issues that you're going to stumble through at some point in time. And so if you have the outline and just the skeleton of what you want to accomplish during this unit, it's going to make creating the course a lot easier if you have that working document. Um, when you're ready, you're going to log into Moodle and begin creating your unit. Then you're going to add activities. You've chosen the unit, you plan the general layout, you have the setup and the basic outline in your folders. Now you're ready to add activities within the folders. Think about how you would teach this in the traditional classroom and how all the information that we learned in the first half of the course can be applied to your specific topic. You want to add as many fun tools, pictures, videos, links to interactive websites where the students may be able to play educational games. Uh, there's an option to create wikis. There are so many things that you can do. And I also think about the pedagogy unit that we discussed and we learned about Bloom's taxonomy. What exactly are we trying to get the students to learn, and at what level are they learning? And have I utilized a resource that allows them to communicate that information at the correct level? And you want to try to find and use as many as you can. Now the requirement is just basic. We need to have 5 different things that are used. YouTube is an easy one. Vokies are easy. Wordles, games. You have those resources that you probably already use in your classroom that you're going to be able to upload and organize in a way that the students are going to get excited about. When you're ready to add activities, you just go and find the specific activity that you want, and then you design it and upload it. freetechforteachers.com is an amazing website. If you have not been there yet, because I know I shared it with you in other parts of the course, please find time to go there because there's so much information. I don't know how this man finds the time and the means to get this information out for us, but it's great. Now, once you have everything done, you're going to present your unit. So you're going to create a Jing or a screencast-o-matic presentation explaining your unit and what's included. Pardon me. You need to have the Wisconsin NACOL standards outlined. So those are those standards that basically dictate everything at this point in time. But it really is good to have everything geared around those standards. You're going to post your final Jing or screencast-o-matic, or if you have a different program that you utilize to create screen videos, that is totally fine. You can use them. Jing has limitations because you can only have up to 5 minutes recorded, and Screencast-O-Matic has up to 15 minutes recorded. So you got to choose one that you feel most comfortable with. When you do create this Jing, you're going to explain the layout, why you chose the layout, the resources that you use and why you chose them, the technology, maybe you have limitations or issues in your building, or maybe you have just this perfect environment that allows you to do things. For example, I have iPads in my classroom. It has some limitations, but at the same time, all my students have an iPad. So it allows me to do a lot more as well. And then what standards that you're meeting with the unit that you created. In the event that your district does not have, or that your district has a different learning management system, you are free to utilize that. But it's important to understand that if you do use a different LMS other than Moodle, I will not be able to support the technology needs that you have or that you experience. Here's a list of examples that you can use, but you'll have to really rely on your tech team to help you create the unit that you have planned. In the event that you do use a different platform, you're going to have to contact your IT department and create a general student username and password so that I am able to access your course, as well as all the classmates will be able to go in and view it as well. It's a simple conversation. In the event that you do need to have verification for your IT department to make this happen, please let me know and I will support you in any way that I need to. Here are the expectations. Basic rating rubric that we'll be sending out to you. Is it meeting your standards for your specific curriculum? Instructional design and aesthetic appeal are the two areas that we've worked and talked about in the first half of the course. It's really important to make sure that it's well laid out, that you're using technological resources, at least 5, and that's really not very many. I would expect that you have way more than that. But most importantly, if I go into your course and open it, am I going to want to continue reading on? So I've had classmates that have come in here and they've actually showed it to their students to get quick feedback about how it looks, does it flow well, and that really gave them insight on what their specific student population liked and didn't like. So really take the time to change the font size, change the font color, add images, add videos. Those are the things that really are basically the icing on the cake that really set apart the classroom. You've all been in a brick and mortar classroom where you walk in and it's just walls. And then you've been in those classrooms where the teachers are taking time to make the environment a fun and exciting environment in the classroom. The students want to be in that classroom over the one that the teachers aren't taking the time to make the environment appealing to the students. And then, of course, how are you going to assess that the students have learned the information at the end? And remember, it's important that you always are thinking this is 100% online. I do not have the luxury of standing in front of Melissa and explaining what she needs to do in this unit, because I'm going to go in to your unit and say, okay, is this 100% online learning experience? Or do I have 500 questions because you set it up as a blended course? Remember, it has to be a fully online experience. And trust me, you will be happy in the long run that you set it up this way. I have students constantly missing my class for field trips, band lessons, just being plain old tardy. The list goes on and on and on. All right, when I have everything set up in my course with all the instructions that I do not need to explain to them, they can either listen or read the instructions and complete the tasks. It is beneficial for everybody. Here are all the due dates for the pacing guide for the final project. Up to this point in time, you should have everything done. You should have finished the first half of the course so you can really focus on the second half. October 21st, you need to submit your final project unit design form. That's just a basic email to me. Send it in or submit it through the assignments. Either one is fine as long as I get my hands on it to see what the plan is. Remember, this form is a working document. I have never seen a form match the final project in regards to what they started with and what they finished with. It is a learning experience as you go. You're going to come up with different ideas. You may stumble upon a new resource that you really enjoy or a resource that you thought would work, didn't work. All right, so understand it's a work in progress. On November 8th, I'm going to expect you to send an email to me with a progress update. What's happening? What have you accomplished? What's the plan to ensure that you can get it done by the end of the month? If you notice, we basically October 21st through November 24th, that's the timeline to be creating. You have about a month to create a unit for your students. I think that's doable. Once you have that done, you're going to start creating your Jing and your screencast presentation, and that needs to be uploaded by December 1st. From December 2nd to the 7th, that is when you're going into everybody else's Jings, watching them and posting your comments on what they've created. Hopefully by December 14th, if not earlier, I will have been able to go through all your courses and give feedback about your final project that you created. Now, of course, as you go, this usually for a 30-minute learning experience for your students, it's going to take you anywhere from 3 to 5 hours to create that learning experience. So just take a deep breath when you get frustrated and understand that I am here for you to utilize if you do have questions. Obviously, we all are working during the school day. Email is the easiest way to get a hold of me because I'm constantly near my computer, and I will try to do my best to get back to you as fast as I can. That is my cell number. I do coach basketball as well, so if you do call and leave a message, I will try to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours of that message when I did receive it. If there are some technical issues, I'll just create a screencast or a Jing, and hopefully that'll be able to walk you through some things. But always remember, just like we expect our students to look for the answers. All right, we have that reference desk that I introduced to you right away. That is exactly where you need to start going and really familiarize yourself with Moodle. If you can't figure out from there, and whether you do just a general Google search, then please contact me for those tech issues, because quite honestly, if I don't know the answer, I go to the reference desk and I find it, and that's something that we all should be able to do and start learning how to use. Okay. Um, of course, if you are not using the Moodle platform, you're going to have to contact your IT department because I won't be able to assist your needs with that specific platform. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I look forward to seeing all the work progress over the next couple months.